Okay, so get this. You have an article or a video, anything really that you want to get seen online. What if there was a tool that could get it ranked #1 on Google in minutes?
In minutes.
Yeah, literally minutes. No SEO, no backlinks, no waiting months for results.
Sounds too good to be true.
Right, that's what I thought too. They say it's all thanks to this super secret AI called DeepSeek.
DeepSeek, that's a bold claim, and honestly, most of those like get-rich-quick schemes online are just that, schemes. But this DeepSeek thing you shared with me, it's centered around something called DeepSeek that supposedly cracked Google's algorithm. Now that's where it gets interesting.
Yeah, that's what caught my eye too. So PEAK AI, their marketing is really hyping up this DeepSeek incident that supposedly happened back in October of 2024.
Oh yeah, I read about that.
They claim that this DeepSeek AI caused a massive drop in Google's stock value overnight, like a $42 billion drop, by exploiting some vulnerability in their algorithm.
42 billion with a B. Wow. Yeah, the specifics of what happened during this incident are really murky, though. There's no real evidence to support their claims, but they're definitely using it to build this mystique around DeepSeek and, by extension, PEAK AI.
Yeah, they're basically saying that PEAK AI gives you access to this secret weapon, this Google cracking AI that can supposedly manipulate search results however they want.
And they make some pretty wild promises about what PEAK AI can do. We're talking ranking any URL #1, driving thousands of clicks a day, all while working across any niche or language, you name it.
Oh, and don't forget the AI content creation. They say you don't even have to write anything. Just plug in your keyword, and boom, PEAK AI does its magic.
It does sound pretty impressive, but let's be real here. If it were truly that simple, the entire online landscape would be completely different. Google has incredibly sophisticated algorithms that are constantly evolving, to combat manipulation and spam. The idea that a single AI could just crack it and maintain that kind of advantage over time just seems a bit far-fetched.
Yeah, my gut's telling me the same thing. I mean, I'm all for innovation and pushing boundaries, but there's a part of me that's like, this is too good to be true.
I think that's a healthy skepticism to have, but you know what? Let's not dismiss everything out of hand. Let's dive into the details of what PEAK AI claims to offer, how it supposedly works, and then we can try to separate the hype from the reality.
Okay, I like that. So let's talk specifics. What are they actually selling here?
So they describe PEAK AI as a 3-step process. First, you enter the keyword you want to rank for.
Okay, pretty straightforward.
Right? Then you hit the activate button, and supposedly their AI takes over.
So no keyword research, no backlink building, no need for any SEO knowledge whatsoever.
That's what they're saying. It analyzes the keyword, generates content if you need it, and optimizes everything for Google's algorithm.
So just click a button and watch your website magically climb to the top of Google.
That's the claim, and then finally you just sit back and wait for the results. They guarantee that your content will reach the #1 spot within minutes.
Wow. Okay, so if we take them at their word, PEAK AI is doing all the heavy lifting. But how exactly does it achieve these supposed miracles? What's the secret sauce?
Well, that's where this DeepSeek AI comes back into play. They claim that DeepSeek is the engine behind PEAK AI, the reason it can supposedly manipulate Google's algorithm and achieve these instant ranking results.
Okay, but that's a pretty huge claim. Is there any evidence to actually support this? I mean, Google is a behemoth. They have some of the brightest minds in tech working to protect their algorithms from being manipulated. It's hard to believe that a single AI, no matter how advanced, could crack their system and just maintain that advantage over time.
It's definitely a bold claim, and one that I think warrants further investigation. Google is constantly updating and refining its algorithms to combat spam and all those manipulation tactics. If DeepSeek were able to consistently exploit their system, it would have to be incredibly advanced and constantly adapting to stay ahead of Google's defenses.
Right? It almost feels like we're entering the realm of science fiction, an AI battling a tech giant for control of the internet. It's kind of exciting and a little unsettling at the same time.
I agree. There's definitely a sense of intrigue here. We're dealing with cutting-edge technology and the potential for, significant disruption, but we need to be careful not to get swept up in the hype.
Absolutely. So let's take a closer look at the specific features PEAK AI claims to offer, see if we can find any clues that might support their claims or expose them as just clever marketing.
Sounds good to me. Let's start with the content creation aspect. PEAK AI boasts this built-in AI writer that can supposedly generate fully optimized, top-ranking articles in seconds.
Okay, that's a pretty big claim right there. I mean, we've all seen AI writing tools, and some of them are pretty impressive. But can they really create content that consistently ranks at the top of Google without any human intervention?
That's the million-dollar question. And it's one that raises a lot of doubts. At least for me, Google's algorithms are designed to detect and penalize low-quality content, especially the kind that's often generated by those AI writing tools.
Right, Google wants to see content that's original, informative, and engaging for users, not just those keyword stuff articles churned out by a machine.
Exactly. So for Peak AI to consistently produce top-ranking content, it would need to have a deep understanding of language SEO user intent and Google's ever-changing ranking factors. That's asking a lot from any AI, even one as supposedly advanced as DeepSeek.
I'm with you there. I'm having a hard time believing that AI can fully replace the human touch when it comes to creating truly engaging and valuable content.
I agree. It seems much more likely that human oversight and editing would still be necessary, but hey, let's not jump to conclusions just yet. Peak AI claims to offer a whole suite of other tools and features. Maybe there's something else that hints at how they're achieving these remarkable results. Welcome back to our deep dive into Peak AI and this whole mystery surrounding this DeepSeek technology.
All right, so we've talked about Peak AI's bold claims, this whole AI content creation and the supposed DeepSeek incident. But let's take a step back for a sec and think about the bigger picture. If Peak AI and DeepSeek are everything they claim to be, what could the consequences be?
Well, if this technology actually works as described, the implications could be huge. It could completely disrupt the online landscape as we know it.
Okay, so let's play devil's advocate for a minute. Let's say that Peak AI can actually deliver on these promises. What would that mean for the average person just trying to get noticed online?
That's a really interesting question, and one that leads to both exciting possibilities and some serious concerns. On the one hand, it could level the playing field, giving individuals and small businesses a way to compete with the big players who dominate search results.
Right. I can imagine a world where you don't need to spend thousands of dollars on ads or years of SEO experience to get your website seen. You just plug in your keyword, hit a button, and boom, you're at the top of Google. It sounds pretty appealing, especially for those who have been struggling to make their mark online.
I can see the appeal for sure. It would be a game changer for entrepreneurs, creators, anyone with a message or a product to share. But there's a flip side to this too.
What do you mean?
Well, imagine everyone having access to this kind of power.
Things could get pretty chaotic, right?
Exactly. Suddenly, everyone is vying for that top spot using the same AI-powered tools. It could create an even more cutthroat environment online where the only thing that matters is how effectively you can use Peak AI.
It's like an arms race. Everyone trying to outdo each other with this new technology. That kind of escalation could lead to some pretty crazy unintended consequences.
You got it. And that brings us to some serious ethical concerns. We've already touched upon the potential for manipulation. If anyone can just manipulate search results that easily, what happens to the credibility of information online?
It's a scary thought. We're already dealing with misinformation and fake news all over the internet. Imagine if people could easily manipulate search rankings to push their own agendas, regardless of whether the information is true or not.
Exactly. It raises questions about accountability, too. If someone uses Peak AI to spread something harmful or promote scams, who's responsible? The people who made the tool. The person using it, it's a legal and ethical nightmare.
And then there's the impact on Google themselves. Their whole business model is built around search. If Peak AI can just sidestep their algorithms, what happens to Google?
Well, it's hard to overstate the potential disruption there. If people lose trust in Google's search results because they're being manipulated or they just stop using Google altogether, it could really undermine Google's authority and cause them to lose users.
And that could have a ripple effect across the entire internet. It could change e-commerce, social media, how we get our news, everything. It's a pretty tangled web.
It really is. The introduction of a tool like Peak AI, especially one powered by something as potent as they claim DeepSeek to be, could have far-reaching and unpredictable consequences. We're talking about the entire online ecosystem here.
So with all these potential risks and uncertainties, what are we supposed to make of this whole Peak AI thing? I mean, there are still so many unknowns.
That's where critical thinking comes in. We can't just blindly accept their marketing claims or dismiss it all without considering the possibilities. We need to be skeptical, weigh the evidence, and really consider all the potential outcomes, both the good and the bad.
So for our listeners out there, I think the takeaway here is to do your own research. Don't just take our word for it. Look for independent reviews. Try to find evidence that either supports or refutes what Peak AI is claiming.
Absolutely. And while you're doing that, think about the bigger picture. What does the emergence of AI like DeepSeek, if it truly exists, mean for the future of how we search for things online? How will it affect how we find information? What's going to happen to the internet as we know it?
Those are some big questions to think about. It's almost like we're on the edge of a whole new era for the internet.
It's possible, and whether or not Peak AI lives up to all the hype, the technology behind it is real. AI is evolving rapidly, and its impact on our lives, both online and offline, is only going to get bigger in the years to come.
That's a great point. This isn't just about one tool or one company's claims. It's a much bigger conversation about AI's role in our lives and all the possible benefits and risks that come with it.
Couldn't agree more. It's a conversation that we all need to be a part of.
Okay, so we've covered the possible consequences of peak AI and DeepSeek, both the good and the bad. We've talked about the ethical concerns, the potential for disruption, and the need for critical thinking in this age of AI. But there's another aspect to this whole story we need to address, the human element.
Right. We can't forget about the people involved in all of this, the creators, the marketers, the users who are attracted to these promises of instant online success.
Exactly. At the end of the day, technology is just a tool. It's how we choose to use it that really matters.
I agree. So let's take a closer look at the people in this story. We've already talked about Daniel and Melissa, those supposed success stories that Peak AI features in their marketing.
Those average, everyday people who supposedly made a fortune using peak AI.
Right. It's important to remember that those are just stories, though. We don't have any way to confirm if they're real or not.
They could be real people, or they could just be made-up testimonials created to make the product seem more appealing and get people to buy it.
It's a pretty common marketing tactic, unfortunately, and it's something to be aware of when you're looking at any product online, especially one that makes big promises like Peak AI does.
So while it's tempting to get caught up in those stories of overnight success, it's super important to stay skeptical and look for more solid evidence.
Don't let your emotions do the thinking for you. Do your research, look at information from a bunch of different sources, and then make an informed decision.
Okay, so what about the people who made Peak AI? Do we know anything about them, their background, their expertise, what they're all about?
Well, their marketing mentions two guys, Art Flair and Palab Gosal. But besides their names and some vague stuff about their experience in tech, there's not much out there.
That's kind of strange, don't you think? You'd think the creators of something as revolutionary as Peak AI would be more upfront about their qualifications.
It does raise some red flags, and it makes it even harder to figure out if their claims are legit or not.
Yeah, without knowing more about where they come from and what their expertise is, it's tough to say if they really have what it takes to build an AI that can do everything they say it can.
It's like trying to judge a book by its cover, but the cover's missing. We just don't have the information.
Which brings us back to being critical thinkers and doing our own research. We can't just trust what we're told. We need to dig a little deeper, get info from reliable sources, and try to put the whole story together.
Exactly. And since we don't know much about Peak AI's creators, let's look at their target audience. Who are they trying to reach with this?
Well, from their marketing, they seem to be targeting everyone. They mentioned affiliate marketers, YouTubers, people with online stores, local businesses, course creators, freelancers, even those with no experience.
Sounds like they're going after anyone who's trying to make money online or get more attention in the digital world.
And they're really playing up people's frustrations with traditional SEO, all that complicated, time-consuming stuff you have to do to rank well on Google.
Right. They're making Peak AI out to be the easy way out, the shortcut to success. No need to learn all those SEO tricks. No need to spend hours building backlinks or writing content. Just click a button and let the AI do all the work.
It's a tempting message, especially for people who are new to online marketing or who have had a tough time with traditional SEO.
I get it. We all want to see results quickly, and Peak AI seems to promise just that. But there's no such thing as a guaranteed shortcut to success online.
True. There's no magic solution. Building a real and lasting presence online takes time, effort, and a commitment to doing things the right way.
Absolutely. It's about creating real value, building relationships, and eating your audience's trust. That's not something you can just program an AI to do, no matter how advanced it is.
Okay, so we're back for the last part of our deep dive into Peak AI and all the mystery surrounding DeepSeek.
We've talked about a lot, haven't we? Peak AI's big promises and what this DeepSeek AI could mean. We've also looked at the ethical side of things and how the creators aren't very transparent.
Yeah, we've covered a lot. But like we said, we want to switch gears a bit now and talk about some other ways to approach online marketing.
Ways that don't rely on those too good to be true promises or shortcuts that might end up hurting you in the long run.
Because let's face it, instant results sound amazing. But building a real and lasting presence online takes time, effort, and doing things the right way.
Absolutely. It's all about creating real value, building relationships, and earning that trust from your audience. That's not something an AI can just do, no matter how smart it is.
So where do we even begin? What are the key things to remember for ethical and sustainable online marketing?
Well, it starts with your audience. Who are you trying to reach? What do they need and want? What problems can you help them solve?
Right? It's not about tricking Google or getting people to click on your links. It's about understanding your audience and giving them content products or services that actually help them.
Exactly. And that starts with making high-quality content that's informative, engaging, and relevant to the people you're trying to reach.
So content is still king.
Oh, absolutely. Whether it's blog posts, videos, podcasts, social media updates, anything, it needs to offer real value to your audience.
Gotcha. No cutting corners or relying on AI to do everything.
Right. It has to be authentic, original, and well-made.
Because people can tell when something's genuine. They can feel it when you're passionate about what you're sharing or selling.
Exactly. And that realness is what builds trust and keeps people coming back.
Okay, so we have good quality content made just for our audience. What's next?
Next is building those relationships. Talk to your audience, respond to their comments and questions, make them feel like they're part of a community around your brand.
That's where social media comes in, right?
For sure, it's not just about shouting about your message. It's about having actual conversations, making connections, and showing people that you're a real person who cares about what they have to say.
And it's about being patient, right?
Definitely, building a loyal following takes time. It doesn't just happen overnight.
It's all about consistency, persistence, and putting in the work.
And it's also about adapting, changer, and staying on top of the newest trends in technology. The online world never stops evolving, so what worked yesterday might not work tomorrow.
So we need to be flexible and open to learning and always looking for ways to improve.
You got it. And most importantly, it's about playing the long game. Building a strong online presence that can handle all the changes that happen on the internet.
Right. No quick fixes or shortcuts that could hurt your reputation or your business.
It's all about creating something real, something authentic, something that truly helps your audience.
And that's something that no AI, no algorithm, no magic solution can ever really replace.
It's the human touch that counts, the passion, the creativity, the connections, the trust.
Those are the things that lead to real success online, no matter what new tech comes along or how Google changes its algorithms.
Couldn't have said it better myself. So as you keep going on your online journey, remember what we talk about. Focus on your audience, create valuable content, build relationships, be patient, adapt, and always work towards ethical and sustainable growth.
That's how you achieve real, lasting success. And isn't that what we all want? To create something that matters, something that connects with people, something that makes a difference.
I think so. It's easy to get caught up in all the hype, those promises of overnight results and quick fixes. But when it comes down to it, it's that human connection and the genuine value that we create that truly makes an impact.
Well said. That wraps up our deep dive into PEAK AI and the whole world of AI marketing.
We've explored the claims, the controversy, the potential, and the problems. And most importantly, we've shared some alternative ways to think about things, some guiding principles for figuring out this constantly changing world.
So as you move forward, remember to keep asking questions, keep learning, keep trying new things, and most importantly, focus on building something real, something you're proud of.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. See you next time when we'll be exploring more of the exciting world of tech and its influence on our lives.
Until then, stay curious, keep learning, and stay engaged.
75, 93, 10,000.